Nigeria's 62nd independence anniversary celebrations over the weekend, to many, has brought to the fore the key elements crucial to the corporate well-being and continued vitality of the nation: security, economic stability, national cohesion, domestic competence in manufacturing, and qualitative research. A present that offers hope, expectation, and excitement for a much better future. These, many may think, are just wishes, but the savvy and the ready know that in a few short months, another opportunity presents itself for the reset at different levels of governance to determine the course of the nation. The course the nation will take for another 4 years. The politicians are already out and about. The citizens are calm and discerning. The latest brotherhood of the ballot offers a wide range of possibilities for a nation poised to take another plunge into the waters of destiny. The question is, will it sink or swim? This is Political Update, NTA's eclectic political ensemble that keeps you abreast of happenings in the nation's political scene. I am Fisayo Ogunfuyi. Welcome. We begin with campaigns. A political movement tagged Asiwaju Project Beyond 2023 is wooing more support for the Tinubu-Shettima ticket for presidency in 2023.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima's presidential ticket on the platform of All Progressives Congress APC is fast gathering momentum. This time around, the Asiwaju Project Beyond 2023 is mobilizing Nigerians to stand on the mandate of APC presidential candidate.
Asiwaju is not centered on ethnicity. When you are saying we must vote for him, it's in the collective will.
They have no record of discrimination between tribal groups in Nigeria. They have demonstrated capacity to develop education, develop the economy, build bridges, build leaders.
This message you are hearing here, we are taking it down to the grassroots, because elections are not won in Abuja. Elections are won at the grassroots.
When it comes to gender issues, we all know that Jagaban is not biased on that, and you can see even his wife is a politician. He is somebody that encourages women to get involved into politics.
The group says it is working out modalities to encourage massive participation of Nigerians in APC campaign at all levels, with success in sight come 2023.
The presidential candidate of the new Nigeria People's Party, Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, was in Jos preparatory to his presidential campaigns. He was received by his supporters from across Plateau State.
The new Nigerian People's Party presidential candidate commenced his campaign with the official inauguration of his campaign office in the state. He was accompanied by the governorship candidates of the party in Bauchi State, Haliru Dauda Jika, and other NNPP stalwarts who accorded him a rousing welcome to the state.
Our strategy normally is to allow people to continue to underrate us. Our politics is on the ground, not in the air.
Rabi Musa Kwankwaso came into Plateau State to commission our offices and also to pay some visits to some stakeholders in the state, and also to meet with the Plateau people, and also to introduce our party officially, and also to let our people know in the state that NNPP, that's New Nigerian People's Party, has come to stay in Plateau State.
The NNPP presidential flag bearer, who addressed the media, felicitates with Nigerians on the 62nd independence anniversary of the country, urging citizens to celebrate the tremendous progress made so far. He expressed optimism that with good leadership, more would be achieved. He also encouraged all to be steadfast, patriotic, and maintain peace ahead of the 2023 general elections.
The Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has resolved to end the internal squabbles within the party as quickly as possible. The resolution was made during a peace-building meeting between the board members and the party's vice presidential candidate, Delta State Governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa.
The Senator Adolphus Wabara-led Board of Trustees of the PDP met with the Vice Presidential candidate Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa with one agenda: resolving the party's internal crisis. The meeting was held behind closed doors at the Delta State Governor's Lodge, Asokoro, Abuja.
We will be meeting with the principal, anytime from now. And from there we will then move to meet Governor Wike. We have what it takes to resolve the problems that special grace of God.
We've been talking with ourselves. I believe that there's still a little work to be done, but a lot has been done. And we are lightly reconciled. There are still issues to be dealt with. And that's why you've seen the visit of the leaders of the party, the Board of Trustees. We have had very useful discussions on what they could do and what we ought to continue to do as a party.
The acting chairman of the PDP BOT, Senator Adolphus Wabara, under the banner of PDP BOT Special Reconciliation Committee, has been visiting the party's leaders and stakeholders towards resolving the ongoing crisis rocking the PDP. Meanwhile, the executive members of the PDP New Generation, led by their Director General Audu Mahmoud, as part of Nigeria's 62nd Independence Anniversary celebration, has enjoined the citizenry to allow democracy to flourish for the benefit of all, emphasizing that the PDP New Generation has a formidable structure across the country and remains committed to the task of delivering 5 million votes to the Atiku Okowa ticket and success of all PDP candidates across Nigeria. The committee enjoined PDP members to embrace peace and unity of purpose.
Our guest this week is Honorable Shamsuddin Dambazao of the Takai Sumaila Federal Constituency of Kano. He says he provides a ready example for young politicians to make a mark in a creative and non-aggressive manner.
The 3 days workshop will equip participants on how to improve, maintain and sustain their small-scale businesses. During the workshop open, member of the House of Representatives representing Takai and Sumaila Federal Constituency, Honorable Shamsuddin Bello Dabdazau, says his major priority is humanitarian service.
Prior to having these issues, I have always built and banked and campaigned on 3 things. This is what I call the triple E: education, economic development, and empowerment. So this is part of what I've been doing this ever since I got into office. This is not the first time I'm doing this. I've done this uncountable times.
I urge participants to make judicial use of what they learned and the properties given to them.
All the beneficiaries that they should not sell these items. They should use them judiciously.
The participant thanks the lawmaker for the gesture, which they said will improve their livelihood, and assured that they will make good use of the equipment and funds given to them. At the end of the 3 days workshop, more than 100 participants are expected to be empowered with knowledge on entrepreneurial skills and modern ways of boosting their business.
The time is upon us when candidates begin to show their credentials to Nigerians in terms of choices to make in 2023. When talking about voting, it seems the younger generation has become more involved in the processes in the last few elections. Member representing Sumaila Takai Federal Constituency of Kano State, Shamsuddin Dambazao, joins us today on Political Update. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
The first time we had this conversation, the last time you came, you made, not say promises, but you hoped that you make some impact on your people. Have you been able to do this?
Thank you for having me on the show. I am grateful to God because I would say about 90% of the promises that I've made to my constituents have come to pass, and we still hope to complete the rest before the year runs out.
Well, for some people maybe on the cynical or skeptic side of things, they will be saying, it's an issue of privilege. But some will say, it's a younger generation. Have you found some form of hurdles or brick wall in your conversations with your constituents, and you needed to impress them newly? Not the credentials you have from your background, but your credentials based on your representation.
Yes, I think as individuals, there's no way you can separate the apple from the tree. Even if it falls from the tree, you know that the apple came from the tree. So you cannot deny your heritage, you cannot deny where you come from. What is important is the foundation that you have. What are you building on top of it? Are you improving the legacy, or are you doing actions that are detrimental to what has been built? For me, and the kind of training and upbringing, I want you to know that I am a product of the system, meaning that I attended public schools. I went to a public nursery school, I went to a public primary school, I went to a public secondary school, and I started BUK. I got to level 2, but when I was going to level 3, I left. So I'm a product of the system through and through.
For greener pastures or lighter green pastures?
Well, what I wanted to study was not available here. I had a change in direction, and so I decided to go elsewhere. So, but to make my point, I haven't had any challenge in convincing or having the feel to convince people of what I am here for. My people know exactly what I'm about, and the passion I have for our country and my constituency in particular.
Okay, let me delve into some of your activities. What were the needs you identified in your constituency, and how have you been able to ameliorate the challenges of the people?
Okay. So the main issues that I have identified, firstly, is that of a lack of the capacity to think outside the box. What I mean by this is a lot of the youth, my fellow youth, have gravitated towards reliance on the government for work, for employment, for sources of income. So I took it as a challenge and a task to educate them that, look, you have all these other opportunities surrounding you. You have the farming, you can go into produce, into different sectors. You can use your brain, you can learn a trade. In order for you to provide yourself, you must not always badger people on trying to get a job from the government, because the government itself is overwhelmed. So I took that as a task to teach them things like that. And then I also focused on education, because I believe anything that is primary, you know that it is of the highest relevance, and it is the foundation. And I noticed that if we do not have proper education, and we don't find ways to eliminate the level of ignorance that is persisting within the society, then we will not get to that level of economic development that we want. We've studied what people like Paul Kagame, people like Lee Kuan Yew, what they've done, Mahathir Mohamad, to name a few, how they focused on education, and there's a direct correlation between increasing the quality of education, the level of education and literacy in a society, and with economic development. So I focused on building more schools, classrooms, providing furniture, because I met a lot of students sitting on the floor. So we've done a lot of projects to provide furniture for them, textbooks, classroom blocks, renovation, and in the future we're hoping to introduce some type of training programs as well for the teachers. And I want to also make some recommendations where maybe if they're indigenous students or anybody that's willing to sign up for such a federal government program, that instead of going to NYSC and sitting down at some desk in NNPC, etc., or where people usually would like to gravitate towards, it should be that you are obligated to go to the classroom across the 774 local governments in Nigeria. I think this will give some type of boost to the quality of education that we are offering at the basic level.
I'm happy that I finished the NYSC before you brought this. But let's look at some other aspects of your plan.
Okay.
The expectation of the Nigerian over a while has been the issue of, if a politician is coming, draw down your tinted glass and then give us something that the boys can use to at least what they call hold body for some time. If you're not doing that and you're talking education and all this, are you sure that you have really reached the heart of the youths in this context, especially if people across the fence in other parties are actually putting some liquid on the floor?
Okay, you make a very good point, and that is why I came back to the first thing that I mentioned about creating awareness. So we can go back to, let's say, the Jahiliyyah period of Islam, when the Prophet ﷺ, before he started preaching, there was this practice where the men of Saudi Arabia, whenever they had a daughter, they would take her to the desert, dig the sands, and bury that daughter alive, because they had their own cultural reasons for that. But when he came, he was from among them, but he now came with a message and created awareness. And everybody knows today that does not happen again. We can take the story of Mary Slessor when she went to Calabar and stopped the killing of twins, because there was this cultural perception. But with awareness today, I am sure that there are no people killing twins in Calabar, and if there is, then the percentage is minute. So the point I am making is that I have put in that awareness, I have campaigned, and I have constantly hammered on the same issue. And I promise you, when I go to my constituency, whenever I come out, my crowds are organic. As I am moving with one car, if I come in with one car, before I go out of my constituency, you see maybe 50, 60, depending on the event, and you see people coming.
Their own cars?
Yes. Like some of them are doing public transportation, like that, so they'll come out in droves, or they'll be on foot.
Let me question, because of time is not our friend. What are you going to do differently? Why should we tell you, why should we say, okay, come back?
Well, it's not really about come back. Whatever I have been doing as an honorable member did not start from me being an honorable member. I've been doing it even before I became a councillor, even before I ran for local government chairman, and even after. These are things that I am truly concerned about, that give me personal fulfillment to engage in these types of activities. So with the opportunity to serve my country, and with the capacity that we have shown through passion, compassion, empathy, and concern for the masses and our people, I think my work will speak for itself.
The All Progressive Congress in Kano State had some push and pull, some push and shove in the course of last year and getting to the beginning, earlier parts of the year. Is it a common front now as we push towards the 2023 general election?
Yes, Fisayo, I can confidently tell you that the APC in Kano is united, and we're working diligently towards achieving the victory of Nasru Yusuf Gawuna as governor and Bola Ahmed Asiwaju Tinubu as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
And finally, you have done one turn, and what will be your word to your constituents at this time? And youth politicians who might want to follow this line, they are seeing you and they're like, this man is not much older than me, what can I do? 2023 is around the corner, if not now, but when next?
Right, well, to be honest, there's no set formula for these things. But I think for me personally, I'm passionate about what I'm doing, and the opportunity presented itself, and I grabbed it.
Is it a case of double joy or double jeopardy? The Labour Party senatorial candidate for Benue Northwest Senatorial District, Mark Bila, has kicked against the listing of his name as a candidate of the new Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) contesting the same seat as indicated in the list of contestants for the 2023 general elections recently released by INEC. Mark Bila, a serving member representing Gwa West and Gwa East in the House of Representatives, described the double listing as an error in a parley with pressmen.
representative candidates for the 2023 general elections indicated my name as the candidate for both Labour Party and New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP) for the Benue Northwest Senatorial District elections, this publication was erroneous and without my knowledge, and I have since initiated necessary legal action against INEC and NNPP in order to correct this grievous error which is alleged to have occurred because of NNPP's inability to upload the name of their replacement candidate to the INEC portal within the timeline provided by INEC, and INEC's publication of the last name sent by NNPP without taking into cognizance my resignation of membership and withdrawal as candidate of the NNPP for the Benue Northwest Senatorial District election, which was accompanied by an affidavit I deposed to in this regard on the 7th of July 2022.
The PDP candidate for the same seat is incumbent Governor Samuel Otom. Now that campaigns for the 2023 elections have kicked off, the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room has appealed to politicians to make their campaigns issue-based, present sound and convincing proposals to alternative solutions to issues that are of utmost concern to Nigerians.
The impartiality of every of the candidates to look at their background.
The Civil Society Situation Room believes that even in the face of the new Electoral Act, the various laws of the land and the penal code must be adhered strictly to within the electioneering campaign period. Situation Room resolved to closely monitor all the electioneering campaigns by political parties and their candidates.
That going to 2023, we are going to be watching keenly who is violating and what laws, who have been held accountable. We will demand accountability for every step of the way. To the citizens, Situation Room has observed that the activities of party supporters on the social media, we have observed that and advised supporters to desist from cyberbullying and other forms of online intimidation.
Center for Transparency Advocacy is a civil society watchdog expecting that campaigns and manifestos would be tailored towards only the things that would further enhance the peace and unity of the country.
We expect that the political atmosphere will be charged. It is imperative, therefore, that political parties make their campaigns issue-based and convince Nigerians to vote for their candidates based on sound proposals of alternative solutions to the issues that are utmost concern to Nigerians.
Meanwhile, a civil society organization on the banner of FAGWORD is urging Nigerian youth to take the 2023 political activities seriously, stating that it would greatly determine a lot in the nation's destiny. Trading on votes is anti-democratic. The youth therefore advised to play according to the rules.
That's a report on watching the vote and even the behavior of the followers concludes the political update for today. It is time to tell you, of course, the candidates that you can come, of course, the NTA and be a part of the political update. We want to know exactly what you have for the people from the party perspective as well as the candidates as the time, of course, is now. My name is Fisal Ogunfi, always urging you to play your politics for the greater good and keep it locked on the Nigerian Television Authority, Africa's finest and largest, for news, reviews, previews, and interviews. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.